welcome to Sunday Evening Live at 5. I am so excited because today is a different approach to how I usually do this Sunday Evening Live at 5. As you guys would know, I'm aiming to commit this year to doing this live Instagram broadcast every first and third Sunday of the month. So we're here, third Sunday, and today we're talking about goals and goal setting. So the goal getter, and we're gonna be joined in just a few with Shakira Mills, and it's gonna be a blast, trust me. So I'm gonna give some person some time to join the live, and we'll get it going. Alright, so one person has joined the live already. This whole ideas of goals, I can't wait to discuss it because I feel that everything in life is compounded by the habits and the goals that we set. Whether you set a goal or not, you aim to achieve something and you end up with the result of that. So goals helps to streamline where you're going, and it helps, but I don't want to get too deep into it, but it really helps to, I think it's good even for self-esteem to set goals, because you have this checklist, you have this idea of where you're going, and you tick along. Yeah. So Shakira joined the live. Boom. Go live. Let's see. It's loading, waiting, connected. Boom! Oh! We are live! I'm so excited.
Yes, we're live.
I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm so excited, because it's like, let me see if it's gonna work. Boom, it worked.
Yes, it works. Thank God for technology and Instagram and this new feature.
I know, right? We don't have to be in the same place to experience helping others and doing what we're very passionate about.
Yes.
So
yes.
just to like sensitize the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
tell us a little about who you are. I'm familiar with you, but some persons may not be familiar with you and the journey that you're on. So
Alright, so I am Shakira Mills, and I am basically the founder, or I like to call myself a motivator, through the brand Serenity Motivated. Now, I formed Serenity Motivated in 2017 through writing, and just writing through from my own personal experience, basically.
right.
Stuff that I went through, and then other persons started to relate, and it started a community and a conversation about just different issues and adversities that persons would have went through in the society, and through that, it is what it is now today. So
it's so interesting to say that you started the journey that way, because I remember you as a writer, and you've grown so much, because it was just a writer. I was like, okay, she's in the writing space of motivation. And I remember when you spoke to me and you said you wanted to get into more speaking, and girl, trust me, you're on fire. I love to see the growth. I love to see it. So today we're talking about goals and goal setting, and we have our thing, we have our little program. So my question throwing out to you, and I guess everybody who's on the live, in focus, big up yourself. What are goals? When we say, I want to set a goal, what are we really talking about?
Well, for me, I think goals are first and foremost intentional. It's an intentional growth plan. That's how I see goals. It's not just this thing that we're fantasizing about. Oh, I would like to do that. And yeah, man, 2020, my year, new me, new. It's an intentional growth plan. That is how I see goals.
Goals. And I like that perspective.
Thinking about.
Right, I like that perspective, because if you're not intentional about something, you're not going to achieve it. So a lot of persons will say something like, yo, I want to start go gym this year now. But it's more aspirational than intentional. And that's right. And even for me, I think we align the same way, because this year I've decided with my goals and setting them in relation to priorities. So the priorities that are in my life, and what I'm trying to achieve, set my goals in relation to that. Because if it's not a priority, you won't be intentional about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So in relation to New Year's resolution, what's the distinction between a goal and saying a New Year's resolution?
So for me, and people tend to think that they're the same thing. People say, okay, I'm
Right.
setting my New Year's resolutions. They think that it's a goal. I think the New Year's resolution has really lost its meaning. It's all about the hype right now. Yeah, man, New Year's coming up, is in the Christmas season, and everybody must just set a New Year's resolution. People aren't actually thinking about it and thinking, okay, it's not something that's going to happen poof overnight. That's not what it is. People think New Year's resolutions are things that New Year, new me. Shut my eye, January 1st, I go wake up and yeah, man, I go start go gym instantly, pushing 35, 50.
Right, right.
For me, a goal is something that is you're stepping up based on what was going on in 2019. What was going on in 2019? What
I
do I
like
want
that.
to improve from
Yeah.
2019? It's not a new year, new
Stepping up.
me. It's the same you.
Right.
The difference is that there's going to be, from a goal, from a New Year's resolution, is that there's going to be constant improvement.
Yeah. I was reading a book the other day and it just stuck in my head. I just like a little quote from it. It was saying, we're not just human beings, we're human happening. And meaning that we're always happening. We're not stagnant. We're not in just one place. We're constantly happening. So to set a New Year's resolution that I'm going to be this change this year, but it comes from the goals and the habits that you set over time that would help you to reach those intentional targets and results. So
Right.
today is what, January, I almost said December, January 19th. Some persons,
19.
so as you hinted to earlier, persons would get very excited about this new year, new me, and after, you probably kiss Bay on New Year's Eve night and all of those things,
Fireworks.
everything gone. Is it too late to set goals? No. January 19th, this part of the year.
No, let me tell you why. So research shows that by the third week of January, the hype
Right.
of New Year's resolution gone
Gone.
down the drain. By the
1,
third
2,
week, you
3.
forget that you even set the goals. By the
Right.
third week, you're not pumped up,
So-
you're not fired up anymore, unless you are intentional about it. So for me, I think right
Yeah.
now is the perfect time to really sit down, analyze yourself, analyze where is it that you would want to be at the end of
To be.
2019, and actually set goals that you can achieve and actually get in alignment with where and who you want to be, who you see yourself being at that particular time of the year.
Definitely. And I think, just as I said with that statistic, that right now we're in the 4th week of January, as I'm seeing here. So after all that hype and the substance of it gone and it wear out, now would be the best time to set goals and do all that vision stuff, because it's not just
Because
so
there's
much
not much-
energy and it's not so much energy and the pull and the just trying to go with the crowd. It's more like, okay, what do I want for me? Because what I've found
Right.
interesting, a lot of persons set goals not for themselves. They set goals based on the expectation of their parents, or they set goals based on the expectation of school or whatever. And nothing is wrong with trying to be cordial with your social surroundings, but in the grand scheme of things, when you set a goal, it should be in relation to what you want as an individual, because goals in and of themselves, when you achieve it, it's not about the thing you achieve, So suppose I said, I want to start eating healthy, and boom, I'm doing all this healthy green eating. It's who you
It's the
become.
why. And who you become.
It's a why, but it's also who you become, because in the process of going through the goal process and becoming and doing your masters and getting awarded and all of those things, you become a different person. So definitely now is the best time. Although it's the 4th week of January, it's not too late to set goals.
Right.
And as we had here, because I'm following from what we have on our agenda, what comes after the infatuation of 2020? What are you willing to give, or what's the price you're willing to pay to achieve that goal? And I think a lot of persons don't contemplate that when setting goals. Why you want to give up? Forget the thing you want. Put it simple. How you answer that?
So the point is, After the hype wear down, and I use the going to gym because that's everybody's goal when a new year starts.
When the new year
Good
starts,
body, them
yeah,
want the
right.
good body, them want the muscle up, them want the six pack, them want the flat tummy, and them don't ask
Right.
themselves, what am I really going to have to give up? What do I really have to do? You know, am I gonna have to wake up earlier? I normally wake up 7 o'clock, but I want to do a morning routine workout. Do I have to
Right.
start waking up at 5:30? Does that then mean that I have to start going to my bed earlier? And if I start going to my bed earlier, that means that I have less hours in the day to play with. So do I now need to really intensify the work that I have to put in? And then not checking out all of
Mm.
those things. They just see the end goal. And I was listening to one of my mentor, Erica, and she was saying there are two types of persons when we think about goals. And the name of this live is the goal getter. You have the
The
fantasizer
goal getter.
and you have the goal getter. The fantasizer can only see the end result. Them only see the good body. Them only see the
Yeah,
six pack. Yeah,
yeah.
man, them only see the good body gym outfit that them want to start wear. You know, man, you know, the little itty bitty and then the tight. Them only seeing that.
Right.
Them not seeing how them can get to that. That's the goal getter. The goal getter have an action plan. The goal getter have a whole process that them know
Right.
them have to start doing to get to the
So,
end result.
so let me share a personal story. I remember when I started the whole minute motivation thing, I knew nothing about video editing, videography, branding, marketing, none of them something. Raw. Me just have the passion and say, I feel like I should encourage persons. That's what I've been doing when I was in Belize. It's the same thing. And I want to do this thing because it makes me feel like I'm on purpose. And I set a goal in 2017. So I had started in 2018 that I wanted to, no, I started in 2016. So I wanted to post a Monday motivational video for every single Monday of 2017. Now that would mean 52 Mondays, back to back to back, on time consistency, no hitch, you can't miss a Monday. Because if you miss Monday, you can't go back to that Monday. That Monday gone.
Exactly.
I had to learn videography. I had to learn to use what I have. Cause at the time I was using a Samsung S4 Mini, my phone, and there's some good lighting. I had to learn about Adobe. I had to learn about HitFilm. I had to learn about keyframing, how to trim the videos, put them together. And out of that, I developed a skill. Now I have some friends who study integrated marketing and communication here at UWI. And I would consult with them from time to time, like, hey, what does this mean in branding? Or what's the difference between a brand and a logo? You'll be surprised there's a whole thing behind that in and of itself. And I had to learn about marketing and how you push this and how you push that and how consumers consume information. It made me a total different person.
Unapologetic Rennie saying something. Yes, Rennie, we are going to post the live after. So don't worry about it. Sorry
Definitely
about that.
going to repost this.
Yeah.
Right. So as I said, at the end of 2017, it made me a different person. And that goal, the funny thing is with goal, it opened the door for another level. So after 2017, when I hit that was 52 videos in 1 year. That's when more speaking engagements start coming in person. So I moved off the ground to in person. Yeah. So that's how we make, because you were telling me you used to watch the videos and stuff. So sometimes the goal is not just achieving, it's not the what. That's like the result is last thing. It's who you become while pursuing that goal. Great. So the next thing on our agenda, big goals versus reachable goals. Does it matter the size of the goal? Like, do you have to say, I'm going to feed charity or I'm going to feed, children across Africa? Does the size of the goal make the value of the goal different?
I want to tell you, yes, go as big as you want and go as bold as you want and be as powerful as you want. But at the same time, being realistic is key, because you don't want to be that at the end of 2020, you sit down, lie down in your bed, curl up, like a large gym, never get to do this. And you knew from the beginning that you wasn't really working on it. So I give you a simple goal. Simple goal. Boy, by March, I forget my driver's license. By March, I get my driver's license. I'm going to want a general driver's license, no automatic thing to my thing. And 2019, you weren't going to driving school.
Yeah.
You wasn't practicing from before. It's not something that you are growing and building on. And a lot of people fail to see that goals aren't something that happen overnight. It's sometimes you have to build on them. So you have to make your goals as realistic as possible. If you're not building on something, don't say by the end of 2019, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z.
I have this little quote.
You want to achieve a piece of this, and then you continue because the time is still gonna go. A lot of people think that at the end of 2020, that's it. No, there's going to be 2021, 2022, 2023.
Yeah. So and your goal is not limited to just that year or time period.
Right. It's consistent growth pattern.
Yeah. So I guess, and this is for probably another live, another conversation, goals and vision go hand in hand. Because I would imagine if your goal stuck to 1 year, the vision limited. Not that you can have stuff that you achieve in 1 year and then that's it. I mean, you have some stuff that you suppose you want to do your master's and it's a 1 year master of January to December. Then, say, can't go beyond that.
Right.
I always have this little saying that I say sometimes to myself that big moves come from small tremors of ideas acted upon. Because persons will see you, and I look at you and in my mind, I'm watching your page and everything, I'm like, you're doing big moves. And somebody who would want to do what you're doing, they're like, man, I can't wait to do big things like that. But I'm sure if you share your story and part of my story, it's really some small little things we do over time. It's asking the questions, is having those meetings, is writing down the plan and putting it together. And then what persons would consider overnight, you just start there all over the place and give presentations. But it's really small tremors of ideas acted upon that creates the catalyst for big moves, so to say, or achieving big goals.
Right.
So
it's the little stuff. People don't count the little stuff That's the thing. People don't count the small.
Yeah, they discount the little stuff. I think it's because we're in
the big thing. The big picture.
We're in a society where we're result driven and millennials consume information fast. So we just want to see the result, like how it did go. How the party did go. It is shot or it never shot. X, Y, Z. Simple. So we're at that nice part now where we're going to talk about how to actually set goals. So just before we get into it, there's a distinction, right, between the steps to set goals and the steps to achieve.
Right.
And why is that there a distinction? Because I'd imagine that the steps to set the goals, that means you could achieve it, right? Or does it mean there's another thing? What's the other thing?
So setting the goals.
Right.
Is a whole different process than the process that you need to go through to achieve the goals. So normally we set goals in big gulps. By the end of 2019, I want to ensure that Serenity Motivated is on the earning at least, 15% from every single talk, something like that.
Yeah,
measure
the Friday Gleaner.
Something, right? So that is the goal. Achieving the goal is a step-by-step process. Again, you can lock your eye and then open it and it happens. Achieving the goal, there's certain different steps that you have to go through and follow that. Again, what you need to be giving up, who you need to be giving up. What do you need to bring an environment to achieve that goal? So many different things that you have to go through to achieve the goal that is different.
And that is important because there are two types of persons, I guess, when it comes to that. Because I'm a doer. I like do road and do things and make things happen. But honestly, for me, the goal setting part is the strategy part. And I strategize. I like strategizing, but that feel like work sometimes. You think that's why some persons don't set goals because it's like work? They just want to do the action part, the process. But you can't do the process if you never do the strategy and the planning and the work side of it. So I guess that's what derails some people from setting goals. So we're talking now about SMART goals.
Right.
SMART goals. So tell me about SMART goals. You're introducing this concept to me. It is...
So I think many persons know what SMART goals are. We've been learning it all our lives. We learn it through high school, we learn it through university, and it's normally applied to a business.
Right.
Recently, Right. Recently, we have been realizing or coming up with this new analogy that us as a person, yourself, you have to treat it like a business. You are the CEO of you. And so if you
Yeah.
run things for you and you treating yourself like a business, then you must set goals that you want to achieve. Just like our business will set up goals. Now, SMART goals are just an acronym for what you need to be taken into consideration when you are planning out the goals. So the S
Right.
is for specific. It has to
Specific.
be
The goal has to
specific.
be specific, right? So it can't be
Let's say you
vague,
want
it
to
can't
lose
be in
weight.
general.
Right. And you don't know how
Right.
much pounds you want to drop. You want to lose weight, you just want to lose weight. How much weight you want to lose?
True.
Because if you say you want to lose weight and you lose 1 inch off of your waist, then you lost weight. But then at the end of 2020, you're going to look in the mirror and say, why am I still fat enough? Good enough, I get the body. And it wasn't specific about how
So-
much weight do you want to lose.
So I would imagine then the more clear you are on the goal is the more, or the easier it is to attain it. Because if you don't know where you're going, then you can't go anywhere because where am I going to go from here? And after specific, I know they're measurable. So it has to be measurable, so meaningful, something that motivates you, something that you can know within this timeline, I'm going to achieve it. How long is it going to take to achieve it? So it needs like a deadline. It needs to be able, you can measure it and achievable. And we hinted to that earlier in relation to realistic
Big
goals.
Right.
So are the goals that you're setting now, can they be attained in this quarter of your life? Can they be attained in this particular phase of your life? Because it's all great to, because this year, as I said, my main thing is wellness and priorities. So I'm prioritizing some simple things, family and friendships, my spiritual growth, school, some simple things, and just headline focusing on those things. Before, I used to have a list of stuff that I was very energetic about and wanted to do, but I realized now with my school load, I can't balance all of those goals that I want to achieve with these things. So it's all about the priorities and seeing if what I'm trying to do in this season of my life, is it attainable? And I think that comes with a lot of self-assessment. So a person set goals without assessing themselves and say, I wonder if this is something that I can manage. I wonder if this is something that can happen. No.
And I think
so
that
there are.
Oh, sorry. All right. I was saying though, but
why
persons don't assess themselves is because I think it has a lot to do with the social media concept and the fact that we're just seeing it as this drastic change all the time, and we don't realize that
overnight success.
Right. So the new year, new me thing is not a real thing. It's always the constant growth that matters.
Right. R is about relevant. When setting goals, they should be relevant. What does that mean to you that the goal is relevant?